No, I'm back.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, peoples? It is the season finale of the Last Gift podcast. I'm Ace. Dude on my right is D. He could do his own intro.
What's up, y'all? I am Flash, and we got another episode coming out to y'all.
And he buffered gone. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
about that. We'll talk about some Saints news, some
He
other interesting
froze.
stuff some Saints news, some other interesting stuff that's going to go on in the NFL, and some possible retirements. We will also talk about the NBA trade line that has went down this past week, and a lot of all other good stuff. As you know, like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. You know what it is.
Running guns tomorrow 8. That'll be going on. Only show on for the next couple of weeks. We'll be back sometime in March.
We want to take a break and come out with some fresh ideas on how to like redo the show and stuff. Because I mean, it's starting to feel kind of stagnant. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It feels stagnant. I kind of want to give it more of a fresh appearance in how we present to you this podcast. You know, try to make it stand out a little bit more differently than all these other podcasts out there. So, with all that said, peeps or Ace, anything you want to say before we hit it?
Yeah. So we'll be back sometime in March. Like I said, like Flash said, we're gonna bring in some new stuff. But yeah, Running Gun's gonna be on for the next month on Wednesdays, 8:00. Check out last week's episode of Running Gun. We had Savion Williams on. He's gonna be participating in the HBCU Legacy Bowl this weekend, so make sure you tune into that. Like the 19th. Yep, right there on the bottom. So make sure you tune into that. Check out all the guys. But yeah, I mean, Flash already covered most of the stuff for the intro, so I mean, let's just get into this. We have a bunch of stuff to get into today. So
all right, peeps, hit it.
all right, let's get this kickoff going. So we'll start off with the Super Bowl 56 NFL championship. Wait, let me get this straight. It's congratulations to the Super Bowl 56 champions, the NFL referees.
Amazing game all the way until the last 2 minutes when the Rams had a football in the end zone. They had like
ruined the
attempts.
joke. You ruined my joke. You interrupted me.
I was talking first.
You were freezing up. I can't tell.
I'm freezing up.
Oh, Lord. All right, anyway, the LA Rams are your 2022 Super Bowl champions, so congrats to them. I think Aaron Donald probably should have got the Super Bowl MVP, but Cooper Kupp's a fair recipient of that award because both of them played outstanding, minus Aaron Donald being offside on 4th and 1, but that's not my point to make.
You just froze, Ace. Or I just froze. I don't know who's
Somebody, I don't know. Internet's shitty today, probably. Who knows? All right, anyway, where was I?
Game from until the last 2 minutes when the referees started going in and they started giving the Rams 8 attempts to score, and then they have failed to call a few offsides on Aaron Donald too. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, me and Ace kind of saw it coming, you know, because we all have seen the game. I could have that Saints NFC Championship game in.
I don't like talking about that. That's when you knew the NFL is trying to give the Rams a Super Bowl. Wow, the internet's really bad.
It's really bad. What's going on?
What a way to end the show. You have crappy internet in the house. Damn it, who's messing up our internet in the world? All right. Well, I mean, Jalen Ramsey got toasted in that game. Like he flat out got toasted, roasted, toasted.
We had two superstar DBs that got roasted. If you consider Eli Apple a superstar DB, like he thinks in the back, he has a few nuts on his head. So I mean, but anyways, Jalen Ramsey got burnt. Eli Apple also got burnt, but Eli Apple caught the slander because the man was talking nonsense. And when you talk nonsense, you deserve the nonsense you're gonna get from all your peers in the NFL. All right, that man was.
That's safe. That's for hot topics. We're saving that for hot topics.
Was that even that for hot topics? Oh,
the Eli Apple's reserved for hot topics. He gets like a whole section in hot topics. So let's talk about these retirement issues. Not issues, rumors.
I want to talk about something real quickly before we get.
Okay.
I know you want to say that Jamar Chase was wide open on that last play, but do you really think Joe Burrow probably had enough time to even throw it to Jamar Chase after seeing him?
Actually, if you saw the
because
play,
he only
right?
had like two.
Hey, time out. All right. So that play, it was a slant route, right? It looked like the Higgins on the left side of the field, but the corner Williams, he jumped that route and took it away. So Joe Burrow had to take more time and go back to the right side of the field, and that half a second more that he went starting from the left instead of the right is the difference of how much time Aaron Donald got to make up to get to him. So if he started from his right, if his progression started from the right, he would have had a walk-in touchdown because he would have had enough time.
I mean, unfortunately, it came down to that.
And well, there's also another issue with that whole sequence right there. No, not that. That's not even the issue. Wow, holy crap. You are freezing so bad.
You are freezing so bad.
So we're both freezing. Okay.
So, we could argue Aaron Donald was offside on that.
No, it wasn't that. It was what I was going to say.
I'm
Joe Mixon should have been on the
field
3rd and 1. Joe Mixon had no excuse to be on the sideline on that play.
That's another issue we could bring up. They didn't even use Joe Mixon on the 3rd down and 4th down.
Or 4th down.
Which is mind-boggling. They used the backup running back on major 3rd down opportunities when Joe Mixon was actually was getting his. I don't know. There might be something more fishy about it. Maybe NFL might have paid off the Bengals to lose that game or something. It seems like. I don't know.
It's kind of weird that since COVID happened, both cities who've hosted the Super Bowl have both won the Super Bowl. So I don't know if it's cost effective for them to make up money for having the home teams just be the Super Bowl champs. I don't know. That's kind of weird that since COVID, it never happened before COVID, and now all of a sudden you have 2 back-to-back. All right, give me a second. I'm going to see what's wrong with this internet. You take care for this whole thing. I don't think Arizona's going to win the Super Bowl. They have their own issues, which we're going to get into when I come back.
I don't know. I don't know if it's really issues or it's misreporting because it seems like there's like some internal sources that have not actually confirmed about the issues that goes on in Arizona. No local media reporters in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Issues.
Yeah, that's why if they stay healthy. So as long as nothing major actually happens, I could see, and Kyler Murray is actually in all these rumors about Kyler Murray not happening. I could very well see Arizona heading to that Super Bowl. So it is. But at the same time, if the Kyler Murray rumors are true, he may not go to the Super Bowl. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I'm not going to burn too much time about it, and I'm going to keep on rolling with this. So the Green Bay Packers, they wanna go in on Aaron Rodgers this next upcoming season. That's something I'm kind of interested to see. I know he did not like to go out the way how he did and stuff, but at the same time, I know Aaron Rodgers looks like he's kind of done with Green Bay. So I am very intrigued to see what goes on in that situation. I wish I had some insider sources. I'm not an NFL insider, so I cannot tell you what goes on with Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay this upcoming season. But hey,
where we are?
Who knows?
It's still freezing. God grief! I don't know what the hell's wrong with this internet. Unless it's not on our end. Who knows?
We're talking about.
We?
Hello,
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that whole thing's kind of funny. They're saying how it's innovative, but that's been being done in New Orleans for the last like 10 years. So, whatever. Anywho, yeah, if they're gonna go all in, they have to re-sign like half their guys, and half that team's free agent. So I don't know. You're frozen, bud. Like you're talking and your picture is frozen. I don't hear anything on your end. All right, I guess it's just me. Okay, where will Carson Wentz land next season? I'd say probably is going to be like Pittsburgh or something. Maybe if Jameis doesn't go there, and they don't be able to trade up for a good quarterback, because I don't think he's going to be in Indianapolis next season. And there's a bunch of teams that need quarterbacks, but most of them have a young guy in the waiting. Maybe even Washington, but I think Washington's probably in a high enough position to draft one. So I mean, I don't know. The Colts say they want to upgrade out quarterback, but I mean, there's not many quarterbacks out there that you can upgrade to beside like Russ and Rodgers, and we've seen like Flash was talking about earlier with Rodgers. I don't know if they will be like available. So let's see, because the Colts are gonna save at least a couple million. All right, how you sounding on your end?
I mean, so far it's all right.
Okay. All right, so some about Carson Wentz. So the Colts are going to save about like 10, 15 million when there's a certain date they have to hit, and then they can get rid of him because the contract's going to go guaranteed. But he had 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I mean, if you take away those last 2 games, he had a pretty solid season in Indianapolis. So, and Flash is freezing up again. So,
You're freezing up.
I'm starting to think it's on JP's side.
Why am I? Okay, seriously, yeah, we're both freezing up.
Yeah.
What do I have Carson Wentz? Can I talk? If you're not talking,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think he had a terrible season like he had like his last year in Philadelphia. I'm kind of surprised Indianapolis wants to move on from Carson Wentz. That is a very interesting thing. I want to know why exactly. Like
that, I think there's something going on behind the scenes there, because on the field he really wasn't that bad. So I mean, unless he's having some like internal beef with the organization, which is the only thing I can think of, for them to
Carson
move on
Wentz does not
in one season.
seem like an office. He doesn't click to be that guy.
What do you mean? Like an issue person?
He just doesn't. Me personally.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You keep like, I have no idea what you're pointing. So, whatever. Did we talk about Michael Thomas yet? No. I don't know if
I'll let you talk about Michael Thomas.
Okay, just me alone. All right. So Mike Thomas, they look like they put essentially everything, that all the issues they've had in 2019 or 2020 and 2021 behind them, both sides. We talked about this a bunch in season 1. I thought both sides were the issue, and now you gotta go and you're like, Mike Thomas, him and CD, they worked their stuff out. That, remember back early in 2020, it was like week 7, right after he came back from his ankle injury the first time, he got suspended because he got in a fight with Gardner Johnson. And on Twitter, it looks like right after the Super Bowl, them two said they up next and they're gonna work for it. So they look like they buried the hatch. So that's good things always you want to see. Hopefully that works out with whoever is the new offensive coordinator. They haven't hired one yet, so I want to see how that works. But also, today he scrubbed his whole Instagram account and he put up a video of Kobe Bryant quote, and he's talking about the work that you put in or whatever, and he's designating 2022 as demon mode. So yeah, I think he's gonna be a full go for 2022, and I won't be surprised if he's top 5, not 5, as wide receivers in the league. But we kind of talked about the Kyler Murray stuff, so I'm gonna just move into the NFL honors recap, where this one's kind of surprising. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is gonna be he's the back-to-back MVP. So
all right, am I freezing as much now?
No, you're not. I'm checking on Twitter on our live stream. It's not. I'm not freezing up right now, so I think we're good. So yeah, right. I was talking about the Rodgers winning back-to-back MVPs. I kind of thought they would have gave it to Brady because he's retired now, and considering he also was better than Rodgers in every statistical category essentially besides interceptions, so it's kind of like I mean. Rodgers got 4 MVPs. He's right behind Manning now, who has 5 for all time. So, I mean, what do you think about Rodgers getting back to back?
It should have been Tom Brady. I'm sorry. I just thought Tom Brady had a better season than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers may have had some more wins, but I just felt like Tom Brady just had an overall better season for an older guy, and also his numbers he's been putting up as a quarterback, he just looks overall very well. Sam Bradford on the other hand, or
Sam Bradford, bruh. All right, exit off. I'll carry.
I'm done.
Exit off. Okay.
Matt Stafford, shut up. Anyways, Matt Stafford. I mean, yeah, he was great too, but he also led the league in interceptions. I mean, yes, he did take his team to the Super Bowl, but at the same time, that Rams defense did a lot to help take that team to the Super Bowl as well. So that's what I'm thinking. It was just between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Matthew Stafford and Hot Topics also, because there's a little thing going around there that's like a real hot topic in Twitter right now. So we'll save that for later. TJ Watt got Defensive Player of the Year, not surprising, after tying Michael Strahan's single season record for sacks. Mike Vrabel got Coach of the Year. Kind of not too surprised about it, but somewhat surprised. I mean, the Titans have like the most guys on IR, so I get it. Michael Parsons won unanimous Defensive Rookie of the Year. Jamar Chase won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He should have been unanimous as well, in my opinion. I'm surprised they had offensive linemen get some votes. No.
Joe Burrow made comeback Player of the Year. I know that one.
Yeah, Joe Burrow won Comeback Player of the Year. I really don't think there was any others left that we had to do. But yeah, so I'll save Cooper Kupp for Hot Topics too if you want, and we'll just move on to the NBA, kind of running behind schedule.
We are
going pretty good now.
I mean, we could talk about Cooper Kupp now. I mean, we're already in football.
Well, the background says basketball. That's why I want to move on. We can save for Hot Topics. We still got plenty of time.
Topics. We got time.
Yep. All right, let's go into
had a big bang trade that just went down at the trade deadline. James Harden has been traded for Ben Simmons. We will go into details about that. Will Harden fit in with Philly? I mean, look, I have read today, first of all, that James Harden wanted to go to Philly in the first place. And the most likely reason is because Daryl Morey is a GM there. I think Daryl Morey likes Harden too much. And I think Harden likes Daryl Morey too much. So I think that's why.
It's a whole little love affair with them too.
At that point, yeah. Harden as a whole in Philly, I mean, it could work. I mean, he has a very dominant center. I mean, in Embiid. So I mean, Embiid doesn't have to work as hard to make it to carry the team to wins now. But now we do have some questions though. We all know James Harden has a reputation in the playoffs for stinking it up a bit. Doc Rivers also has a reputation for stinking it up a bit in the playoffs.
That's putting it mildly.
Well, let me be more specific. Doc Rivers has led the NBA ever in blowing leads in a playoff series.
3-1.
He leads the leagues in that. So that's one thing I would be highly concerned about. But I mean, as far as I think, the Philadelphia did not give up Tyrese Maxwell. Oh no, not
No, Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey. You put both of them together.
They didn't get rid of Thybulle
Sam Bradford. Okay, I'll give you a break. You're having a rough day.
So I think, I mean, they didn't give up those pieces. So I think like it's a massive win in the terms of Philadelphia 76ers organization. Seth Curry was a loss, but I mean, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do to get rid of Ben Simmons some way or the other. On the Nets side of things, I don't know. People want to say the Nets got better, but I just don't see how the Nets got better unless they're going to put
defensively.
Yeah, maybe a bit defensively, but they're going to have to put Ben Simmons as like a power forward.
Well, I mean, hopefully Ben Simmons is in the right headspace when he comes back. He can play every game because your other point guard's taking every other night off.
I know, but still, it's just I just do not know how it works. Like, I have more questions about the Brooklyn Nets than Philadelphia. And you just started what I just said about the Philadelphia 76ers. So put that in context. I just do not know how it works over there. And you still have a brand new coach who just doesn't know how to coach that much, and Steve Nash. And you got Mr. Kyrie, who just
part-timer,
yeah.
All right, my turn. So I have a strong feeling that if Tim Fertitta wasn't the owner of the Rockets and Daryl Morey hadn't just left to go to Philadelphia back when James Harden initially wanted to get traded out of Houston, I strongly believe that Harden for Simmons would have happened in the first place the first time when Harden got traded, but Fertitta didn't want to give Harden to Morey, which is part of the reason why he got sent to Brooklyn instead of Philadelphia. But ultimately, in the end, Harden does end up where he wanted with Morey in Philadelphia. But also, they needed some much needed big guys for Brooklyn. They really need some big guys because you saw what happened to them in Milwaukee series last year. Even with the injuries they had, they were getting bullied. Giannis was essentially playing bully ball for them in the paint, and you're gonna hope that Andre Drummond and Simmons can somewhat counteract, at least put bodies down there. Because I mean, Blake Griffin's a shell of himself. When Marcus Aldridge had retired last season because of a heart issue, so I mean, it's kind of like a balancing act. I think.
Let me say this right now: if Tim Fertitta was not even the owner of the Houston Rockets, James Harden and Russell Westbrook would still been there. I'm gonna say that right now. If he was not the owner, Russell Westbrook and James Harden would still been in Houston, and number one reason why James Harden and Russell Westbrook left Houston because of how Tim Fertitta handled the organization and stuff. So that's why they got traded in the first place. And second of all, Daryl Morey would not have left because of Tim Fertitta as well.
That's my Ben Simmons in his opening press conference today with Brooklyn, he said Philadelphia fans were mad at me for last season's playoff performance. Just wait till to see what they're gonna get with this guy who's coming. Just wait till to see the guy they got for the playoffs.
Well, look, I'll say this: Harden is never afraid at the moment. He just underperforms. Ben Simmons, on the other hand, he just plays scared, and he doesn't defend it very well too in the playoffs.
He couldn't shoot free throws. That's his whole issue.
That's another thing about Ben Simmons. Harden, on the other hand, will go down dying trying.
Yeah,
and then he goes to strip clubs after.
Yeah, he'll just take a quick plane ride over to Vegas or wherever they are.
No, they got strip clubs in Philly. They already.
Well, yeah, that too. But when they're on the West Coast, they gotta go. He always goes to Vegas. All right. Anywho, let's talk about another guy who's got traded. Kristaps Porzingis, the unicorn, as what he was back in like 2016-17.
They call him the unicorn now because he shows up in some games and not a whole lot.
Yeah, Porzingis got traded to Washington. Him in a second for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dave Bertans. I mean, you think the Porzingis contract's kind of bad? I mean, the Dinwiddie contract and the Bertans contract, oh boy, they're worse.
Remember when Wizards fans thought that Dinwiddie was going to make the Wizards better than with Russell Westbrook? Dinwiddie? Yeah. They were saying that all over Twitter, and then they realized, oh, we want Russell Westbrook back. We miss him.
Yeah, that trade, I don't get what Dallas is trying to accomplish there. I mean, I guess they're trying to, like...
I don't consider Dinwiddie as much
play
of
up to their contracts. Maybe I'm so confused.
Dinwiddie's more of a shooting guard than a point guard. I feel like he doesn't like play as much of a point guard. I mean, at that point, you should have just traded for D'Lo or something.
Well, I think D'Lo's in Minnesota to keep Karl Anthony Towns happy. That's part of it, but also Minnesota's in the playoffs right now, where the record currently stands. But another team that's struggling in the Eastern Conference is the Boston Celtics. They made 3 trades essentially, or 2. No, yeah, 2 trades. They made 2 trades. They made 3. I was right. It was 3. I forgot about the Magic one. But so they traded for the Spurs, Derek White, and they traded out Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and 2 first-round picks. Langford is a former lottery pick from Indiana. So that trade that gave Boston some much-needed, how do you want to say, guard help. I mean, they are on like an 8-game winning streak, but it's been tough to watch them recently. They brought back in Daniel Tice. He's going back to Boston. They're sending Schroeder, Ennis Freedom, and Bruno Fernando to I have no idea where, because I'm pretty sure all 3 of them are getting cut from whoever they got traded to. I didn't actually pay attention because I know they're getting free agents, but whatever. What do you think about those 2 trades Boston made? They also sent Bol and PJ Dozier to the Magic for cash for like a 2nd-round pick.
Well, I'm gonna just say this. Remember when the Celtics tried to make fun of Russell Westbrook, saying on the Dennis Schroeder screen, say y'all paying oh shit. Well, I mean Philadelphia is also shorthanded too, so I'm not gonna say much on that. But they put under the graphic under Dennis Schroeder, y'all are paying Russ $40 million.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then now Celtics fans were done with him and they wanted him gone. So I mean, it's kind of ironic.
But, yeah.
But I'll say this: Boston. I mean, they have a chance to make some noise in the playoffs. They got guys they want. So and they got rid of some other guys that were probably making distractions anyways in that locker room. So we shall see what happens in Boston. I want to talk about this 4-team trade that went down with Serge Ibaka to Milwaukee, Rodney Hood, Washington to the Clippers, DiVincenzo, Josh Jackson, and Trey Lyles to Sacramento, and Marvin Bagley to Detroit. What do you think? What you make of that?
Well, you said you wanted to talk about it, so I thought you were going to continue on. I was pulling up the standings for the Eastern Conference right now. Boston is all the way up into the 6th seed right now after their 8-game win streak. They pulled all the way out from 10 to 6, so good for them. This trade is kind of a throwaway trade beside DiVincenzo going to Sacramento. I mean, everything else is kind of like just throwaway pieces. No offense to any of these guys out there. I mean, I can see what the Clippers are trying to do after trading Justice Winslow and some other pieces to Portland, but I mean, Kawhi made a joke saying he was going to trade Serge anyway. He's on the block. Anyone want him? So I mean, he hasn't played much since his back injury, so I'm not too concerned with that piece. And then Marvin Bagley, I mean, he wanted out from Sacramento anyway. I want to see what Sacramento does because they brought in some pieces now with Sabonis, DiVincenzo, and trading away Haliburton is probably tough, but I mean, they're just trying to get pieces to go for that playoff spot. So I mean, I want to see what they do. That's my most interesting.
It'd be the first time to make the playoffs since 2002 or something like that.
02 or 04. It's one of the 2 years.
It was a long time ago. You weren't.
I want to hear what you got to say because you said you want to talk about this. I want to hear what you got to say.
Serge Ibaka to Milwaukee is what I like the most. That's the only thing that stands out to me the most from that trade. DiVincenzo, I guess. I mean, he's all right. Josh Jackson could make some noise. Trey Lyles, we'll see about that one.
Trey Lyles is a bust.
I do feel sorry for what's his name? I can't even remember names today. I'm sorry, y'all. The guy that got traded to Indiana for Sabonis. I do feel bad.
Tyrese Haliburton.
He really want to be a part of that rebuild.
He went to Indiana and he's averaging like 20 and like 13. He's dropped 23 points and above on both games and had over 10 assists. Like he had 16 assists like yesterday or Sunday. Sunday he had like 26 and 16. I mean, he's a man on the mission right now in Indiana, and at least they give you timetables with their injuries. Unlike a certain team in Florida named the Orlando Magic, who don't give you a timetable on their injuries, where they say Markel's gonna come back in a few weeks, January 10th. 7 weeks later, he's not even back before All-Star break. So yeah, I'm kind of, it's like a crappy organization right now being run in Orlando, where they do absolute zero fan service and tell you when players are expected back. That's my main.
Well, I mean, we could go in a rant about Orlando all day long, but I don't want us to waste time on that. So,
who got better and who got worse?
Lakers say the same.
Yeah,
Absolutely no trades.
Poinka's at Disney World or Disneyland.
Disneyland. Poinka was at Disneyland. LeBron and AD was like, we should have made a trade of some sort, but nothing ever happened. So, and then all you have is just rumors from secondhand reporters who are not like even good at what they're doing, just making Westbrook rumors left and right. So, I mean, what else is new? That's just what I want to say.
So, who got better and who got worse for you before I answer?
Oh, one more thing I want to talk about him. Goran Dragic is now a free agent. You can't forget about Goran Dragic now. Come on.
I know.
He got Dragic
first. Yeah, the funny part about that whole Dragic thing is they gave up a first just to get rid of him and bring in Thaddeus Young. I mean, like, what the hell, Toronto? What are you doing?
They just
Thaddeus Young ain't worth the first round pick unless you're trying to really get away with Dragic contract. But whatever. Yeah, he's a free agent. I mean, I don't know much value he's going to bring to a team right now, but I mean, whatever. I mean, Tyreek Evans being back after a multi-year drug ban. I mean, okay. Gonna be fun to see him again. I mean, I guess.
I'm curious what's gonna happen with all this.
Yeah. Are you gonna answer?
Yes, I think Milwaukee definitely got better. Sacramento as well. They have somewhat gotten better. I mean, Sabonis looks like he's been doing good in Sacramento. Boston as well. I think I could see him doing better as well. Philadelphia, they definitely are going to do better. The losers in this, unpopular opinion, the Brooklyn Nets. Unpopular opinion. It's a very unpopular opinion. I mean, I guess it could benefit Seth Curry from playing a little bit better in place of Kyrie if he's not playing, but I don't know what else I could say. I mean, Ben Simmons is still on my suspect list. So
interesting thing here.
Aaron Holiday
got sent to Phoenix for cash.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That will give him a little bit.
Shout out for your Serge Ibaka thing. He played one game since he got traded to the Bucks, and he's had 31 minutes. He only played 35 games with Los Angeles this season. He only averaged 15 minutes a game, so that's not bad, I guess, for 6 points and 7 rebounds, but whatever. For me, for who got better, definitely Indiana. They got a guard they can build around. That's all. I mean, Sacramento got Sabonis. I mean, that was the best trade, probably. And, like...
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I mean, in terms of rebuilding...
I ain't going to make a decision on the Harden-Simmons trade until the playoffs. I got to see both of them actually play for the team.
I think it's more about how they look next year, too. You have to look at.
Yeah.
I feel like the Brooklyn...
San Antonio got worse. That's the easy answer. They had like 4 trades. Poor DeJounte Murray had the Kevin Hart, like, what? That whole gifts thing there, that's tough for him since he's gonna be an all-star this year, but whatever. Torrey Craig going back to Phoenix, I mean, okay. I thought he was just in Phoenix like last year. So whatever. Well, I mean, let's move on to hot topics. I mean, didn't we cover everything? Or Montrezl the Hornets, I forgot about that one. Ish Smith going back to the Wizards. Okay.
Smith, I mean, I guess they have a point guard to play, not a Dinwiddie's guy. I mean, hey, you know what? Ish Smith, like, he was all right as a backup. I mean, there were some times when Wizards was scratching the head over him, but he was not as bad as how he was on the Hornets team this past year. Ish Smith, though, I mean, I guess when it comes close to playoff time, he does play a lot better. I'll say that firsthand on what I think about Ish Smith. At least for the Washington Wizards, at least. I cannot speak for Ish Smith when he was on Hornets now. So, yeah, that's really it. What I want to talk about. Let's move on to hot topics.
All right, fun time. Let's do some NHL quick stuff. Arizona Coyotes are moving into the Arizona State Arena. It's only like 5,000 seats.
Why?
They got kicked out of their own stadium.
Why?
They didn't want to pay the lease. Like the lease expired, so they got kicked out of the stadium. So yeah, they're gonna be kind of weird to watch. So
they might be getting relocated at this rate. How it's happening.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if they, like you said, relocate. I mean, it's very possible they move like the franchise, but that owner is so crappy. I don't expect them to. He's like a really cheap guy, but whatever.
Some of these owners do not deserve to have teams at all.
We know that
they don't deserve. They don't deserve teams.
Yep. But also, superstar Jack Eichel is going to be making his debut for the Las Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow. So, as we all know, he had his neck injury in Buffalo, forced his way out. He's going to be making his debut in Vegas. That's going to be interesting to watch. But there's also an issue with what Vegas is doing. So, people complained, right, when the Lightning had Kucherov on the long-term IR the entire season last year. And everybody made this big deal because they were cap cheating. Oh, no, what Vegas is doing is 30 times worse than what the Lightning did, because the Lightning had a guy who was actually legitimately hurt most of the season on IR the entire season. He didn't play a game last year. What Vegas is doing is they're taking guys on and off, and they're putting Mark Stone on IR just so they could bring back Eichel, and then they could deal with the cap stuff later on. Like, they keep bringing guys on and off this LTIR so they can make the cap work. And now, like, one guy being out the entire year. There's, like, multiple guys they keep bringing on and off. So, yeah, that's, like, also my second mini rant for today. But yeah, Flash, you want to do anything with the NHL before we move on?
There's just nothing that has caught my attention lately in the NHL.
One more. I forgot. Martin St. Louis is the new Canadiens head coach. I don't know if I did this
this
week.
Martin St. Louis?
So Vinny LeCavalier is working in the front office, and Martin St. Louis is the head coach. I mean, what are we building the 2004 Lightning in that franchise right now?
Well, no, they're just getting some old Lightning guys because that's where they're not success at this point.
No, it's
ironic, isn't it? You want to know what's even funnier? The Canadiens were in the Stanley Cup last year just for the head coach.
Are you taking my joke?
Yeah, you didn't say it, so I'm saying it for you. You're the one that told me it, so I find it's ironic.
Okay, fine. You can say the joke. I'll let you have it.
Say
the joke, but you have to do the delivery right. I nailed it when I said it. So, come on.
I just think it's ironic that the Montreal Canadiens were in the Stanley Cup final last year just for them to fire the head coach this season. Right? That is such a steep fall off.
Mm-hmm. Well, they also weren't expected to be there, I guess. They traded their hero who sent them to the Stanley Cup, Tyler Toffoli. He got traded to Calgary for a first-round pick and like 2 other players. So they're already starting to clean house, it looks like, of all the veterans. I don't know what their plan is in Montreal, but they are. That tweet that they said of, hey, Tampa, we're going to take the Stanley Cup and we're going to take your baseball team. Yeah, that's got to be like one of the worst aged tweets of all time.
That stinks.
Because I complained that saying they should put it up again.
I don't think Montreal even wanted to raise, but I don't think the Montreal even wanted to raise in the first place.
I think that was just Stu being Stu, but whatever.
That's another terrible owner. Tim Ferreira's there too. Since because the Rockets look like they're in somewhat of a decent shape, does not mean Tim Ferreira should be down there as a terrible owner. He should be down there. The Suns got their act straight ever since that old lady of Arizona started telling them about how bad they were, and then they just decided to make some big moves.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for that bubble run too. All right.
The MLB stays on lockout. They're still on lockout this year, so I don't expect to see baseball for a while. I mean, it's already coming up to March very soon, and they're still not having a thing. But I think they got rid of the designated hitter thing, so anybody could be a designated hitter. Something like that they brought back. That's something they're agreeing on, so that's gonna be something to watch. But yeah, that's all the baseball updates I got for you guys before we hit up into. Hey, JP's, do you have to question that for where does the Super Bowl halftime show rank all time? Or no?
No.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is the question.
There we go.
Flash, answer that question before I answer.
Definitely top 3 in recent history. I cannot rank all the Super Bowl halftime shows from what I've seen, but this is probably like definitely top. I would probably say the Bruno Mars one is also up there as well, and the one with Shakira and J Lo, that's also top. There was a major bust in Super Bowl halftime show, so like they actually did. So like they actually did this one pretty well. I think like as long as they keep bringing out like good celebrity stars out to perform.
I thought they could have brought right there in the stands. Just tell her, hey, you want to come down here for a second?
Wait, what?
No, there was a joke saying that they should bring in Shakira or J Lo back into the show on Sunday.
No. To be honest, I can see the theme that they were trying to go with this Super Bowl halftime show. They brought out all the people they wanted because like Dr. Dre and Eminem are close friends. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg are friends, and 50 Cent is also a Cali native too. So like they brought out all the right folks for it.
Yeah.
So no, I have to hard disagree with you on that take, Hayes. I'm sorry. That's just a hard.
I'm not saying I wanted that. I'm just saying that's what people were saying on Twitter. But
then those people are not that smart. I'm sorry. There's a theme and they stuck with it, and Kendrick Lamar too.
Yeah. But also, let's see. Was there anything else on that? I think it's top 3, probably maybe 2. It's me there.
People were actually complaining that like it was like a whole bunch of gangsters and stuff, and was like,
no, the weirdo white guys.
Yeah, and like the only one that actually made that made issue about white people and stuff was the white guy that would perform when he was kneeling, and the NFL said beforehand no kneeling and stuff. So
hey, just a guy just wanted to take a breather. That's all he wanted to do.
You want to know something? Cap off for Eminem. So
yep, good for you, Eminem. Also, what is it? The New York Post made this big deal about Snoop. I mean, Snoop just enjoying his kid.
It's just Snoop. It's California. If he was smoking a joint, it's legal in California. For Pete's sake, man.
Yep.
Get over it.
For real.
All right.
For real. Yeah.
All right, like guess what? If we go back 200 years ago, if someone saw someone drinking some alcohol, they'd be like, "Ugh, that's taboo." Ugh.
That was 100
years ago. I don't know. Like they made some issues about alcohol. They're doing the same thing with weed. So, I mean, hey, look, as long as they do not try to normalize coke or anything, then or heroin, then we're fine. That's how I view things.
All right. Best commercial of the week of the
Doritos.
Doritos.
Doritos goated. No, Doritos just make the best commercials, period, for Super Bowl. But what was that?
Nothing. Don't worry. Move on.
Oh, that's good to know. They should probably do like a pregame with the Florida AM now. Marching 100. I do not think it should be a halftime show, but it should be like a pregame performance or something, like down in Florida if they ever bring it back, or Louisiana.
Or like you know how they have the week of performances. You know, like for the week of Super Bowl, they like have those people come in and they do like
no, they need to be performing in the Super Bowl event
like
itself.
The day of, like before the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl is like 6:30, so like at 12 o'clock or sometime in between.
I'm saying like right before 6:30, before they do the national anthem, they should have them perform.
Nah, that's stupid.
Why?
It's not even practical.
Why? People are coming
moving on.
All right, yeah. So actually, there's this one commercial that pissed me, Ace, and I off the most, and that's the Expedia commercial. Had all the Star Wars fans looking forward to that, seeing Ewan McGregor talking, and we're like, oh yes, this is a bait. This is a bait. They're gonna make it about Obi-Wan Kenobi show coming out on May whatever. And now, the 24th?
It was just an Expedia ad.
It was an Expedia ad, and there was no Kenobi ad. Shame on you, Disney Plus. You made ads for everything else, but not for Kenobi. We wanted Kenobi. We don't want nothing else but Kenobi.
Bad Batch. Can we at least get a Bad Batch trailer?
That's we want Kenobi. All right.
I'm just asking for any.
Nice, Boston. Nice. 69. That's nice. Real nice.
Oh, Lord. All right, moving on. Tough break.
Let's talk about Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp.
No, we got to talk about Odell first. Tough break.
No, Cooper Kupp. We'll talk Odell after.
No, I want to get Odell. Because, towards that ACL surgery, I don't know if they botched it or what. I don't know. It's kind of like a fluke. There's a whole thing now about turf getting banned. I think Deebo Samuel and a couple of 49er players tried saying like they need to get rid of turf and just put straight grass in half these stadiums because towards the second ACL tear in the same knee after 16 months. We all know what happened with MetLife 2 years ago. At least 6 guys in the first 2 weeks toward their ACL and Achilles on that field, on that turf. So I mean, what do you think about the turf issue that they're having right now?
It's just a
lot. Lightning came back nice. They were down when we started.
I think turf is just not that good. I mean, look, there's a lot of turf stadiums out there that people are starting to realize, okay, turf may not be that good. But then now you're seeing all these high schools and stuff that would they want higher quality turf and stuff when you're starting to realize the natural soil and grass works better. I guess turf looks better. Don't get me wrong, but grass is better to protect your players.
Yep. All right, let's talk about this Cooper Kupp thing. He won the crown.
Thing. Turf also it really could scratch your legs really bad when you start sliding on it and stuff. It's not fun. Yeah.
It's not. It feels cool to run on, but then when you wear cleats, it's not fun to run on. If you're in sneakers and you're on turf, it's all right. But then when you put on them cleats, it ain't that fun. All right, Cooper Kupp goes quadruple crown is what I'm gonna call it because he initially won the triple crown, but now he won the quadruple crown. You got the reception leader, the yards leader, the TD leader, and the Super Bowl MVP. The man had the whole thing. What do you rank this season, man? This season gotta be the best single season wide receiver season of all time.
Definitely, I would agree so. And he also had a great quarterback to help him out with that too. So,
I mean, they force fed him the final drive. They said, "Kupp, you're getting the ball," and I don't know why Cincinnati thought this is gonna transition us perfectly. Why the hell Cincinnati thought that superstar corner Eli Apple was a good guy to cover one-on-one with the game on the line, the Super Bowl on the line. You gave the
you want to know what's funny about Eli Apple?
2 players, Eli Apple and Samaje Perine. You deserve to lose that game. You didn't give your best corner Awuzie on Kupp. You put Eli Apple. Really?
You want to know what's even funnier?
NFL Twitter and NFL players coming together to roast Eli.
Yes, that too. Look, Eli Apple had a diss track of his lowlights that is still longer than his highlights that he posted on Twitter. And this is the lowlights of the Super Bowl, all right? He has a minute and something of lowlights of the Super Bowl. And it's still longer than his highlights that he had all season. Let that sink in. Hey, also, you know what? Eli Apple deserves all the smack talk he has gotten. Because you know what? He was talking trash about every city, about past. You know what? He might ship his ass off to the New York Jets, all right? He could go be a rotten apple in the rotten apple city for all I care.
New York Giants fans hate him. Where will Eli Apple land in free agency? Yeah,
Jacksonville.
No, he's going to. That's where he's going to end up.
Where?
The USFL, the United States Football League. That's coming in April.
I thought you were about to say he's going to the CFL or something.
Oh, no, CFL is also a possibility, but I think CFL's been having issues since COVID.
Well, unfortunately, he still stays in the league. Eli Apple is going to end up somewhere. I just hope the Bengals do not re-sign him and actually sign some good O-line pieces for Joe Burrow.
They got the cap space, but I think
Joe Burrow has had the most sacks in a season apparently.
He had 70. That's the most
And Joe Burrow also got sacked the most times ever in a Super Bowl game.
Tied for 7.
That's an issue.
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about the Cincinnati thing, but my issue was with them. They won up 20-13, and I felt like they took the foot off the gas. I mean, they made some really dumb decisions with the Vernon Hargraves stupidity, and then they had the another issue after the punt, and then they got a taunting call or some crap, and they got put back to 10. Their best field position after that Higgins touchdown and the field goal was their own 25-yard line. I mean, then you felt like you stopped running the ball, and then when you needed to run the ball, you gave to Samaje Perine, which was stupid, instead of Joe Mixon.
Why did Cincinnati?
He went 70-something yards. It wasn't like he was ineffective like Cam Akers was on the other side of the field. He was getting yards against that defense. But then you guys stopped running, and you let Von Miller and Aaron Donald get mad and just come and just take over that game, and didn't give Joe Burrow a chance. It felt like, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's tied for most 7.
I mean, hey, you know what?
They have the cap space. I think they're gonna go after Teron Armstead. Probably, I won't be surprised if they do. And another guy I'd keep your eye out on is Stephon Gilmore. I want to see them go after Gilmore. Because he's going to be a free.
They could afford him. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. They have the cap space. If you focus on in the draft, or if you want to use all your money in the free agency on the offensive line, you could do that. Or you go bring in a guy like Stephon Gilmore and Louisiana say bye bye to Eli Apple, because you got some guys in the AFC North like good pass. Well, no. Really, Deontay Johnson's the best wide receiver besides Jamar outside of the Bengals. So, I mean, there's not that many good corners, but when you go into that AFC with Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, those bad guys, you're going to have to get a good corner. I mean, Gilmore's going to be the top guy on the free agent market, and we already saw him make the Pro Bowl and only playing like 7 games this year. And he was actually good, besides that one game where Antonio Brown cooked him.
Yeah, I would focus my attention to Stephon Gilmore from the Cincinnati
or
Bengals.
Yeah, offensive line and corner, or pass rusher. Besides
Hendrickson and they have picks too. So if they want to trade those picks,
yeah,
they could trade them.
I think they trade up and get an offensive lineman. That's what I think they're gonna do.
I would do that or sign some offensive line.
This draft is pretty offensive line loaded. So if they go up and they get a guy like Pennell, I think his name is, or something like that. I forgot the guy's name, but there's a couple good guys mid first round who's gonna go. So I think they're going to go do that.
They have a quarterback that could deal with the pressure. So if you get them like a solid O-line, I think they'll be fine.
All right. What else do we know? Oh, yeah. Do we have the question up about Matthew Stafford in this Hall of Fame nonsense? Because he is not a Hall of Famer. Like this whole thing.
Slow down, Ace. I mean, hey, I mean, he could make the Hall of Fame. It's just more as of
no. That's what they're saying right now. As of right now, he would be in the Hall of Fame if he retired.
I could believe it. Look, the only reason that's probably keeping him back is because he played for a trash organization called the Detroit Lions. So I mean, and he had one season to prove himself, and he played very super well. He does have an argument for it, and a Super Bowl is just a cherry on the top for that. So if he were to retire, he does have a somewhat chance of making it to the Hall of Fame. Unpopular opinion or not. So that's my take.
So is he worth the Hall of Fame? But then you still haven't. Whatever. All right.
What more do you want out of Matthew Stafford for him to go to the Hall of Fame? What more do you want out of him?
Actually play.
What more do you want out of Matthew Stafford?
Well, I mean, the only thing he has is like, essentially, he's Matt Ryan with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he played very well.
He was getting outplayed by Joe Burrow until the last drive because he force-fed Cooper Kupp, and he made one good throw.
Look.
He no-looked the Bengals. That was it.
I mean, his whole regular season, he was playing well, too. Now, yes.
He threw like 3 straight games with pick sixes. He was not playing all year good.
Oh, I know that, but, I mean, he still helped LA win that title. That's how I view it. Now, yes, granted, if Joe Burrow had a better O line, yes, Joe Burrow easily outplays Matt Stafford. So.
But yeah, so sum this all up, I won't be surprised if we see Aaron Donald retire this week. I'm surprised Whitworth hasn't announced his official retirement yet with the Rams, and they're saying McVay is gonna probably retire in the next 3 years.
Who?
And then be McVay, Sean McVay.
Why?
I mean, when you think about it, he's done everything already. He's already proven himself and he's won his ring. And they're saying this coaching thing, especially with this COVID, has been taking a toll on a lot of guys. So they're saying you're going to see a lot more young coaches. They're not going to last as long as they are. Like what you're seeing with Belichick and Tomlin and Harbaugh, those are like going to be the outliers compared to this new age or whatever. So I keep your eye out on it, but yeah.
One more thing before we completely wrap this up. There's a report coming out of Seattle said that the Seattle Seahawks are committed to Russell Wilson. I just want to say this myself before I have Ace opinion on this. I do want to see Russell Wilson still in a Seattle Seahawks uniform. I think the fan base love him. I think he loves Seattle himself. But I still think the Seattle Seahawks still need to get a better offensive coordinator because the offense was stagnant last year. It was piss poor stagnant. And I also want to see a few trades as well. But overall, people still think I'm crazy for thinking Russell Wilson is staying in Seattle. But unless Russell Wilson actually demands a trade, I would not expect him to not be in a Seattle Seahawks uniform this next season. Ace, what you want to say about that?
I have a funny feeling we're going to be talking about it tomorrow because I know Jay Peeps is going to say how he's going to have Russell Wilson in Seattle, but I find that very hard to believe.
Well,
he's going to have Russell Wilson in Tampa. You know what I meant.
You know, JP also has some outlandish takes sometimes. You know that. At times, he has some
and get you. All right, but anyway, let's wrap this up for the season.
There are some outlandish takes he has, all right? And I need to start writing them down every time he has an outlandish take.
All right, that's all right. All right, guys, this is going to wrap this up for our season 2. We had some tech issues to start the show, but I think we went once we both left and came back and we had that whole weird thing in the first 10 minutes. I think we did good. It was a fun episode. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff.
It was a fun season.
First episode, we've covered almost every single aspect of the sports. I mean, we didn't even talk about that Olympic fiasco they're having right now with that 15-year-old from Russia and that whole thing they're having right now. But I won't. That's not for me to say because I don't know enough information on that. So I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah,
yes.
so.
One more thing, I do ask if you guys put in the comments any suggestions you all want us to do to
for season 3.
For season 3, like any like criticisms or anything like that on how we could change the show to be better.
And if you're watching on Twitter,
we want this to be more engaging between us and you guys. All right, we want to be more engaging. We did let some fans on. So I mean, if you are interested, give us a DM and we will definitely let you on, depending on your background.
And if you're watching on Twitter, don't you guys? We don't have like an actual comment section for the show.
Who's a super gremlin?
What?
He's a super gremlin, J Peeps.
All right. But yeah, if you're watching on Twitter, go into the comment section of the tweet itself and you guys put in the suggestions, what you guys think for us for season 3. It'll be greatly appreciated. But yeah, Run and Gun's back tomorrow, 8 o'clock. HBCU Legacy Bowl is Saturday or like the 19th or whatever at 4. You're going to watch Savion Williams and some boys do what they do, essentially. I mean, what else are we going to say about that? It's going to be in Louisiana. It's going to be fun to watch. Oh, Lord. But yeah, from all of us, you be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Peace out. See you in March.
See you in March.
Any day now. Oh, we're